Hello and good day to you. It's another video, this time with Voicemeeter Potato. As you know, in the other video, I had a go at Voicemeeter Banana, and the objective is to set everything up so that you can use it for audio to stream using OBS and also ultimately Streamyard. Streamyard is the browser-based software that you can have multiple streams going to the various different outputs, all coming from OBS. Now the problem with OBS is that there's no audio using the OBS camera. It's a virtual camera, and of course StreamYard, you take that and you put it into StreamYard, but there's no way that you can put audio from OBS. So of course I was trying to find a way around this, and I came across Voicemeeter Banana, and I played around with it and it worked, and I thought, wow, this is really good. You have to use the VB cable, the virtual cables, you have to have those. Now my mistake was, it was all working, and then I thought, I'll fix it. I'll add on 2 more cables, because you can have up to 4 virtual cables, A, B, C and D. And of course I added C and D, and it ruined everything. It ruined it. Basically, it took me a day and a half to get back to where I was before, and it wasn't really that good. So I made the choice of trying to remove everything. So I removed the cables, I removed Voicemeeter, I removed everything. I removed my voice mod software, and of course I then realised I didn't have the key, so I had to get the key for that because I paid for it. And then while I was at it, I thought, well, all right, we'll go to the whole hog. We'll have Voicemeeter Potato, which basically gives me a load more options. And having used it for a day, it's excellent. I don't know why I didn't have this in the first place. It is so good. And the bit that I like about it is that it shows you what outputs are being used by the various virtual inputs that you'll see that in a moment anyway. But there is a list of programs that are being used. Let's go over and have a look at the first thing we need to have a look at, the main Voicemeeter Potato screen. As you can see, I've customized this quite a lot. It's all working lovely, and of course I do have 4 cables, virtual cables, A, B, C and D, and the cable normal. So there's actually 5 inputs that I can use altogether. And of course, when you install Voicemeeter, it installs various controls. So you'll end up with Voicemeeter VAIO, you'll end up with Voicemeeter AUX, and you'll end up with VAIO 3. Now, if you be very careful when you do this, you have to keep your eye on it, because every time you install a piece of audio software, the flipping system, it changes, and you'll find that you'll have no output. Let me show you briefly. These are the audio settings that you need to have, be aware of. So you have your 4 cables, A, B, C and D. And the speakers, I have computer speakers, and I also have speakers which is sort of plugging into my Blue Yeti. So I have a Blue Yeti microphone that has capability for headphone socket. There you see we have the 3 well, the AUX and the VAIO3, which you must keep as default. And what will happen is when you install the cable, that will move default. So you need to come back in and set default for the item, and it will be the same, be the input on the playback, and it will be the output on the recording. So you need to make sure that they are both default, and you'll end up with three: the AUX and the normal and the AO3. So you'll end up with three outputs there. These are virtual inputs, virtual outputs as well, because they're linked. That voice mod is my voice mod software, which is hooked into the microphone, so that I can I'll show you that later, but you can change your voice. There's my Yeti microphone speaker, so headphone socket, and the 4 cable inputs and my normal speakers, plus the extra cable input. There's always a spare one, so in effect you have 5 altogether that you can use. That is what I wanted to show you on there. You need to make sure that these do not change, otherwise you will not hear very much. So VAIO3 needs to be default. Let's go back to this screen. Now the main bulk of this is Logic. Yes, Logic. It's being very logical. Now if you like me and you can't remember anything, then you need to make it so that you can remember, and you can right click the title and it will allow you to type in whatever you like. So here, the VAIO, this is the normal, this is your final output. This is what you will put into OBS when you get round to that. This will be your output from Voicemeeter, and it will be the one that comes into OBS so that you can record it. If you're making videos or if you're streaming, then that will go into Streamyard as the audio, and your video will come from OBS camera. I've set this AUX to be my voice mod voice changer, and I've done that because it will allow me then to turn it on and off, and I can hear it without having to faff around with selecting headphones or speakers or whatever. It will just do it without any hassle, and I have that set. You need to make sure that the bit rates for all of this are identical. So in this case we've got 44100 for everything, for all of the bit rates. They're all the same. Now, because we have the default on VAIO3 for input output, the system, that's everything, all programs, anything that you haven't selected, will come in on this and go out on this channel. First thing you need to do is go and set the hardware outputs. So this is your headphones. In this case I've got A1 as my Yeti headphones, so this is my plug-in into the bottom of the Yeti so I can hear it on my earbuds. And my A2 I have set for my speakers. These are my computer speakers. Now there are 5 outputs. I'm only using 2 at the moment, but you could think about that you could use this for other outputs. I don't know, I've no idea, but the possibility is unlimited. Good. Right, let's move on. And the next thing that we need to do is have the Blue Yeti. Well, we've got that over here, and I've set that to come to my voice mod software, so it goes through the software voice changer. Obviously, if it's not turned on, then you could hear normal, and obviously if you turn it on, which I will do, you could hear the silly voice. So that is there, Blue Yeti. All of these channels, every single one goes through, is routed through B1. This is B1. So they all go to B1, including any of these, the voice mod and the system. They all go to B1. B1 is what will eventually go to OBS, and this is your output for the mixer. Now you can see that I have here, I have used a cable. I've got cable A, which is for media player, and conveniently media player is just here. What you also need to do in media player, which is go to options, devices, speakers, properties, and then set that to cable A input. As you know, we said last time, input output, I think, is actually the words are the wrong way round. I think it should really be, that should be output, but who am I to argue? Get rid of that. So that when you play music, hey presto, we have lovely background music coming out. You don't need to bother with the volume here because you can control it using that volume control. So nice bit of background music for your live stream or whatever. You can, of course, if you don't want your stream to hear it, you can just have turn that one off there. It will just come through my headphones. Headphones, remember, is A1. A2 is speakers. But obviously I want that to come out on the screen. So B1 is selected. On this one, I have Skype chat, which I haven't set that one up yet, because that could be any of those VOIP. It could be Discord, it could be TeamSpeak, it could be anything. But Skype is easy to do, so you could use that. Again, it will come out on your headphones and also on the stream. So the audio from that. The Stream Deck is very interesting. I've played around with this and I have set this. Is that a bit loud? That's a bit loud. Just turn that down a little bit. I've set this to cable B. Right? So cable B output is going into Potato. I have it set for my headphones and speakers because I want to be able to hear it. However, when I'm streaming, I will turn off A2, so that's turn off the speakers because I don't want to get feedback. And you will get feedback over the microphone. So obviously if you're playing something over your speakers, beware. It will come out your microphone as well and it will echo quite badly. So what we'll do is we'll show you that very briefly. The fact is that we have over here the Stream Deck. Now I have set up here, I have set up some audio, and what you need to do with the audio, if I want to play a jingle, for example, you obviously have to set the output to cable B input. I don't know why, but cable B input, it should really be output, but whatever. So that when you press the key,
flipping heck, that's decent.
you hear the jingle. It's quite clever.
Flipping heck, that's decent.
And that's being routed through Potato. So any of these.
Oh, that was so rude.
And what I've done is I've played around with the volume control, so that I've set them all to maximum. And what you can do is, if something's a bit loud, you can adjust it on this slider here. So for example, let's play that.
Was so rude.
I've turned it down, so it's
Flipping heck, that's decent.
quite low, but obviously you want to be able to hear it. So if you remember, you can double click that to get back into 0 dB, so that when you play it.
Oh, that was so rude.
I've set the volumes to come up to round about the same level, as you can see. They all tend to come up to the level of the 0 dB area.
Oh, that was so rude.
Which I think is a good loudness, as it were. Right. So let's move on. And this one I was playing around with last night. I played a game, and I thought, well, hang on, what we can do, we can use cable D, and we can try and route the audio through here. However, it wasn't very successful. You have to bear in mind that you're reliant on Windows 10, and it wasn't very good. However, I did get the audio, but it came out of this one, System, because that picks up all of your computer audio. So I gave up. I left this one as being something that I can use later. So, but if you wanted to, and you were able to route some audio, then you could assign it to this column, and then you could adjust the volume. Oh, what I will show you, let me just find it, is if we go to Skype, so we've used A, B and D. So if we use C, cable C, oops, that's right, yes. If you bear in mind that you have 3 of these, don't you? If you remember last time I mentioned about there are 3 protocols, WDM, KS and MME. Keep everything on the same protocol and the same bit rate. So make sure that you select the same band. So in this case, WDM. Right. So what we're going to do is go over to Skype, and in Skype, it's settings, audio visual, and this one here. Well, it's gone to the default, which is the VAIO3. Well, we don't want that because we want to use cable C. Cable C, and we can test the audio there. Bing bong! Way! Obviously that's a bit loud, so we can turn it down. Hey, that's clever. So we've got full control over the audio. So if somebody was on Skype and they were talking a bit loud, you can actually mute them all together, get rid of them. So instead of worrying about, that they're overpowering you, and I turn that one off. So that's Skype, and it's all very clever. And any of these VOIP chat apps could do the same thing, providing that you can route your output. Right then, so there we go. That's Voicemeeter Potato, and I am impressed. I think personally it's given me a lot of scope there. Oh, I haven't shown you. Oh, I must show you this because it's actually quite clever. Is the voice mod system. Now, what we do, obviously, I've got StreamDeck set up. When I do 2 buttons, 1, 2, it allows me to change my voice. So, hello, there. Hello. Ah, yes. So we're now on voice mode. So this come here. I'm not sure if there's an echo. Let me just turn that one off. No, there is. No, it doesn't make any difference. And of course, these are the things that you can do, like so turn it on and turn it on there, and then you can select a voice like that. Turn on.
Baby, shipment, alien,
Echo, and then you turn. You probably can't hear me because I muted the microphone. So probably a little bit of that you didn't hear. However, in my over enthusiasm, I forgot to, I muted the mic, the normal mic. So you probably didn't hear any of that, but we'll see. So I'm very impressed, and it's been so simple to do. And of course this allows you then to go into StreamYard, which is a multi-streaming, and then you can stream using OBS as your obviously your main device. Obviously I've got a screen behind me, and I'm using XSplit actually as the camera, so it's not me. I'm not using a normal video camera, I'm using XSplit. So I hope you've enjoyed that different version. It's doing the same job, but I think a lot easier, and it's got a lot of scope, a lot more scope, and it's a lot more clearer as to what things do. The thing that I wanted to mention, which I didn't, I forgot, is that you can see the applications that are using the output into Potato. So you can see that the voice mod is using that, and it will be using that because that is the default. The OBS obviously is using that because I'm sending this out to OBS to record it. Right, there we go. That's it for now. Hope you enjoyed it, and catch you again very soon. Bye for now.